Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about my 2022 Street Bob 1000 mile review. There's nothing much to say, anything bad about this bike. This bike is pretty gnarly. Bought it about 2 months ago. So far no problems with it. I've done a couple of things to her. Lots of torque, lots of power on every gear. The only downside that I would change on this bike, it's really not a problem, but it's more of aesthetics. I would change the rear tire. I would put a maybe wider tire in the rear. Other than that, I don't see anything wrong with this bike. A couple of things that I've done to her. I bought a set of shorty pipes. I got the rear and front tail lights and the turn signal lights in the front smoked, and I changed the factory bulbs for LEDs. I also bought the under handlebar mirror kit. I smoked the forks with vinyl, and the other thing I did, I bought a kit to raise the tank about 3 inches. So you can see the tank right there, it's raised about 3 inches. So basically, in my opinion, you get a better look, and you also get more air coming through here to the heads while you're riding. The other thing I did, I moved the handlebars a little bit farther up front because I kind of like that style, and it's a little bit more comfortable for me. Future things that I want to do to her, the rear, I want to lower the rear. So I'm thinking about buying a Kotlin lower suspension kit, which it'll lower the rear about 1.5 inches, because I like that look. So I would like to just lower the rear just a little bit more. Maybe in the future change the pipes, get better pipes. But for now, that'll do for me. Those shorty pipes are quite cheap, and they are pretty loud, to be honest. They were about $120, and they do the job. Pretty easy to install. That was one of the first things I did when I bought the bike. All right, guys, that's it. Pretty much in love with it. Lots of power, like I said. I wouldn't change nothing on this bike. This is my first Harley, coming from a past Honda Cruiser and Yamaha Cruiser owner. This is my first Harley, and I'm pretty happy with it. Lots and lots and lots of power, lots of torque. So pretty happy with the bike. The positives that I have on this bike is, I gotta say, fit and finish on these Harleys are pretty nice. They Harley Davidson's, I think they do a really good job on the fit and finish on these bikes. You don't see a lot of cables all over the place, and the cables that you see around, they're pretty tight. They do a really good job on the craftsmanship on these things. The engine looks really nice, all blacked out. You don't see a lot of chrome on this bike, just right there. Other than that, and the front headlight, but other than that, there's absolutely no chrome on this bike, which is something that I like, all blacked out. Something that it's pretty common these days. So positives, the engine, my god, the engine is so smooth, lots of power, lots of torque. Not a fan of these tires. I will probably change these tires in the future, but for now, you know, it is what it is. I'll use them, and you know, but as soon as I get a chance, I will go ahead and change those tires, get me some really nicer tires for better grip. Really liking the filter with the 114 number there. That looks pretty cool. The seat, a lot of people, I've seen videos on YouTube, a lot of people complain about the seat. I don't really have an issue with the seat. Well, you know, I'm 5'7", 167 pounds. So for me, the seat is pretty comfortable. But I've seen some guys, bigger guys, that they complain about the seat. Me, honestly, to me, I think the seat is perfect. So I don't see a problem with it. The controls, pretty nice. Don't have an issue with them. Pretty easy to use. I love this on this Harley. I love the tachometer and all the warning lights. That's pretty cool. So really liking that. The paint, love the paint. Even though it's black, the finish on this paint, the clear coat, the design of the tank, I mean, pretty nice, man. Pretty fucking nice. Downsize, one downsize now that I remember, and this is, again, for me, this is not really an issue, but I would just try to do a little better if I were Harley in the future. The rear brakes, they're so soft, you know. I don't really use the rear brakes, to be honest. I barely use the rear brakes unless you're riding down the road and there's an emergency, then you might have to use them, but I really don't use the rear brakes. But when I was test riding this bike, one of the things that I noticed is that the rear brakes, they're kind of soft for my liking. And I've seen some other guys on YouTube on their videos, and they're saying the same thing, that the rear brakes, they're kind of too smooshy, too kind of soft. Again, I don't know, it could be an issue with the bike being brand new. Maybe in the future, as you use the bike and it breaks down, the rear brakes will catch better grip. But as of now, with the bike with only 1,000 miles, I find the rear brakes kind of soft for my liking. But again, not a big issue. Most riders, they don't use the rear brakes anyways. So this bike comes with a I believe it's $800 option for anti-lock brake system in the front. When I bought the bike, I opted out. In my opinion, something really nice to have. I just think $800, in my opinion, on my budget, was a bit too much for me. So I opted out on the anti-lock brake system. But if you're buying this bike, I would suggest, if you have the money, if you have the budget, and if you want to order the bike or buy the bike with the anti-lock brake system, go for it, because it's always something good to have. On my opinion, you know, for me, on my budget at the time, was a bit too much, so I didn't order it with it. This bike comes in 3 or 4 different colors. I think it comes in blue, orange, dark gray, and dark green, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the factory names for the paint, but and of course black. So I think it looks really good in black. So all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. But before we go, let me just start it so you guys can hear how it sounds with the shorty pipes. Pipes in the future, get me some really nice pipes, but for now that'll do. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for watching.